And I want you to sit down and really look at yourself in the mirror for a minute and really look deep. And I think you're going to realize you do expect that. Almost every sexual experience, it's this given, right? That you think it's part of it. Like it's just a guaranteed part of it. So A, remove that idea, and B, understand it should be reciprocal. So as much as you want that attention on your body, we want it on ours. Welcome to Pretty in Kink. I'm your host, Tara V, and I'm here to bring you along on this weird little journey called life. I'm an adult content creator and I'm an awkward girl extraordinaire. I am here to show you that life can be messy and weird and beautiful all at the same time. I want to show you the awkward side of sexy and the sweet side of dirty and the beauty that's in the darkness. I'm not afraid to talk about the things that make most people uncomfortable, so consider this your trigger warning. Let's buckle up, let me be your safe word, and let's go get weird. Hello, and welcome back to Pretty in Kink. Do you hear the big smile on my face today? It's a big one, and you want to know why? Because today we are talking about one of my most favorite subjects, blowjobs. Now, before you panic and you hear that and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be an overtly sexual episode, I gotta run. This is not what I'm here for. Just hear me out. I will first plop this little disclaimer in, which I struggle with even putting a disclaimer in because, like, come on, the word kink is in my title, but you know. This is one of those subjects that is going to be informative. So I don't want anybody, if they're already starting to get kind of worked up and hot and bothered, put the lotion away because that's not what we're doing here today. All right. This is not a sexy post. I want it to be informative because I personally love blowjobs, but I know a lot of women that don't, or they treat it like a chore, or they're insecure because they're not sure that they're very good at it, or they've just had bad experiences. And I want to change that. I want to be a champion for blowjobs. I just want to make everybody love them. The world would be a better place, wouldn't it? So my disclaimer is simply this. This is not going to be overtly sexual, but at the same time, I'm talking about blowjobs. So, I mean, there's going to be some stuff in there that might be, a little spicy, even unintentionally. So just be aware. I have also decided to make this a two-parter. This is going to be my very first episode that I do where I have a part 1 and a part 2 because it's blowjobs. I just want to talk about them as much as I can. Honestly, though, no. It's an important conversation for both men, the receivers, and then for those giving. And it is two very different conversations, but two conversations that I think are necessary. So today, my friends, my lovely, lovely weirdos, today I'm here for the men. I am here for you guys and saying blowjobs are amazing and I want to get you more of them. But to do that, I need your help. All right. So I need you to pull up a chair, grab a pen and some paper, and listen close because I have some pointers for you. And you might be saying, like, Tara, you don't have a penis. What kind of pointers can you give me? You don't know. You've never had a blowjob, and I haven't, but I've given my share. And I can tell you, if we reference back to episode 6 with the butt stuff, what was the biggest point that I had in that episode? Go slow. Now, you might feel like at this point in your life, like, I don't have to go slow with this. People know what they're doing. Not true. I cannot tell you how many DMs I get from women over the years that are insecure about blowjobs. And so if you have somebody that is insecure And then you, the man, are treating this as if she is a pro, like she is a porn star, and you're just going to take control and start, doing what a lot of you guys do, which is just shove things in there. She's not going to want to come back for more. So work with me here, all right? And just hear me out. So I used to actually hate blowjobs, and they just grossed me out, quite honestly. And when I sit back and think about it, and honestly, it was while trying to record this episode that a little light bulb went off for me, and I realized I had this kind of attachment to blowjobs when I was younger, that they were dirty, like dirty girls did them, and not the hot, sexy kind of dirty girl, but like dirty girls, like, the ones you hear about when you're entering your sexuality in your younger years, and there's those sluts, quote unquote, which now, like, fuck yeah, I want to be a slut. But, back then it was such a, I don't know, there was this association to it that bad girls did it. And so I think there was kind of this like quietly ingrained thing in me that made me feel dirty doing it. And then during this discussion, a friend pointed something out to me that I think is very important for you guys to hear. And that is that a lot of times with blowjobs, they feel like it is this expected thing. Like it is this automatic, if you are starting to have a sexual experience with a partner, automatically it is going to lead to a blowjob. But a lot of times it's not reciprocal. So it'll be, you start with kind of getting hot and heavy and making out, it goes to a blowjob, and then to sex, and you're done. And we're left kind of feeling almost like a prop. And so it's very important, because so many of you say you want enthusiasm. Please remember it's a two-way street. There's both of us here, right? And so remember that as much as we want to give you pleasure, we also want you to do the same thing. And it's important for you to understand that a lot of women cannot have orgasms through just sex. A lot of them need like that outer stimulation. And that's where oral sex comes in, where you can blow a girl's fucking mind, quite literally. But so remember, as much as you are expecting a blowjob, and I want you to sit down and really look at yourself in the mirror for a minute and really look deep. And I think you're going to realize you do expect that. Almost every sexual experience, it's this given, right? That you think it's part of it. Like it's just a guaranteed part of it. So A, remove that idea, and B, understand it should be reciprocal. So as much as you want that attention on your body, we want it on ours. So just hold on to that, okay? And remember that. I think that's one of my top out of everything with this episode that I want you men to understand. And another very important thing I would like you to understand, and this is something that I've never really heard discussed, and I was talking to a partner about this, and when I brought it up, even he kind of paused and was like, oh, I've actually never really thought about that. And yeah, good point. And that is that it is super important for you guys to pay attention to your partners. It is very easy during many sexual acts that you kind of get caught up in your pleasure and you might lose focus a little bit. What you need to understand, because this is more foreign for you as the receiver, you might not understand literally our mouths are full, right? And depending on the level of how you guys are participating in this act, right? Some it's a little bit more, I don't even know the word I want to use, but some are more calm, maybe is the right word. And then there's other interactions that are a lot more a lot more rough, right? And so there's no cute way to put it other than like our mouths are full, and there's times where like our throats are full. And so therefore we cannot communicate with you. We're not able to say, hey, wait a minute, please pause. And again, depending on the act and the type of play that you have with your partner, if it's the kind of act where, maybe you are kind of restraining her head. And again, if you were doing this, this is all communicated beforehand. But it becomes even more difficult for somebody to say, like, I need to come up for air, right? Because now they've got a pair of hands on their head. So learn to pay attention to your partner's body language and understand, even if you're not seeing any clues, let them come up for air for a minute. Especially in some of the positions, you might not even be able to see your partner's face. So keep that in mind. For me personally, I have what I call my tap out method. I don't have a verbal safe word at all sexually, which I should. I simply have what I call a physical safe word, and it's my tap out. And essentially I just do a double tap, like a tap tap on their body, somewhere on their body, whether I'm having sex or it's oral sex. I will do a double tap on their bicep or the back of their thigh or their butt or wherever I can reach. And then my partner knows I need a break, and they're going to pull away and pause and let me catch my breath before we carry on. So communicate with your partner, especially beforehand. And, in that conversation where I was saying, if it's some of the rougher play where you might have your hands on her head, hear me with this as well. Do not put your hands on our heads and simply shove us down there. And do not suddenly place your hands on our heads when we are down there to quote unquote restrain us. And I don't mean that in a violent way, but just in what you think is a fun, sexy way. Because if you haven't had that conversation with your partner and you're not clear on their parameters and their do's and don'ts, that can be incredibly scary for your partner. So be careful with that. And just the pushing us down there thing is fucking rude. It's so rude. We know your penis is down there. I promise you. And we are well aware of what you want us to do with it. There is a way to guide us without just that, just shoving us down there. Don't do it. Just don't. Super fucking rude. And then when we are down there, again, and this is one of those, again, I don't have a softer way to put this. Don't just start face fucking. Cut that out, you guys. Cut it out. That is something that is specific to partners. One partner might love it. Another might absolutely hate it. And if you have somebody that is insecure about giving blowjobs in the first place, or is just trying to overcome, some sexual hangups and is trying to learn to love this act to please you, and you start doing something like that, if she's not ready for that, you're going to ruin everything. And again, you want us to come back for more. You want us to be excited. The top thing that you guys told me when I asked you to give me anything that you would want me to pass on to women, the top thing you said was enthusiasm. So let us be enthusiastic. Don't ruin it by being too pushy. It might take a minute for your partner to get their footing. It might take a few interactions. Let them get comfortable and let them tell you when they're ready to push it to the next step. Because again, I implore you, shoving things in there is not fun. And we literally cannot breathe. And I don't think you guys have a full grasp on that. Just grab a fucking banana one day and shove it down your throat. I'm not even kidding. Fucking do it. And don't you dare grab the small banana. Grab a bigger banana, shove it down your throat. And if you go, oh, that was easy, shove it down there and keep it there. And tell me how you feel. And then tell me how you would feel if that happened to you without you expecting it. You're just eating your banana and enjoying it and taking little bites, and then bam, it is shoved down your throat. You can't breathe, and nobody will take the banana out of your throat. It's not fun, and then you're probably not going to want to eat a banana again. And bananas are amazing and tasty, and so stop trying to ruin it without even knowing you're ruining it, all right? And be vocal. Just like you guys want us to be enthusiastic, I can't tell you how much I love when my partner is vocal and I hear that I am doing the right things. I love it. And I don't care if you're speaking. Well, okay, I'm just kidding. I do care because, I have a praise kink and whatnot. So I want you to tell me I'm doing a great job. But whether it is vocal or it is simply with like moaning and groaning, we love that. And then it's going to make us feel like we're doing good and you're enjoying it. And that's going to build that confidence. And tell her what you want. Don't be afraid. If there's something specific you want and she's not doing it, there is a way to tell your partner without being like rude about it or making us feel like we're doing something wrong. I've had men just simply say like, no hands. And I immediately know, okay, I'll take my hands away. There's different ways. I've had men reach down and remove my hands. And it's just a simple act like that. And I go, okay, well, he doesn't like hands clearly. And I carry on, but I won't know unless you tell me. So don't be afraid to ask and don't be afraid to show. If you masturbate in front of us, we're going to be able to see, oh, he likes that. And I'm going to be sneaking over to part 2 of this episode and telling the women to watch you masturbate. So show us, all right? Because I'm going to tell them, ask him to do it in front of you, ask him for a video, and then study it. And I'm going to make them think they're doing recon work and you know nothing about it. But I'm letting you in on the secret. You work the fucking magic on yourself so that we can see it and recreate that. All right. And also, I have had my fair share of fun experiences. And I have to say, not many of you ask beforehand how we like things to finish. I know the majority of you have specific ways you want to finish. Please don't assume that of each partner. Ask before you just kind of sprinkle us with your love. There is some girls that just absolutely don't want it on them, or, there's just a lot of different likes and dislikes with that. So before you choose how you're going to finish, just ask your partner. And again, you can ask it in a sexy way in the middle of the act and just find out what they like before doing it, because it is rude if you do certain things without asking, because, sometimes we really like the way our makeup looks and we got to go somewhere after. So don't be messing up our makeup unless you know beforehand. Like, I have one partner that literally will ask me before we start, like, how messy can I get with you? And sometimes I'm like, don't touch my hair. Don't get anything in my hair. I have to go grocery shopping after this, or I'm like, mess me the fuck up. So just ask. And I think that brings us really to another very important point. And I think my final point is communication. Plain and simple communication with everything with sex. If you are nervous or uncomfortable about discussing things, we kind of have to think twice about shoving our sexual organs in each other's mouths. Because seriously, like, if you're uncomfortable to ask basic questions like, can I come in your mouth? Or do you like being face fucked? Should you really even be doing all of these things? Because you should be comfortable with that. So just communicate, whether it is beforehand, during, or after. I love having experiences and then kind of having like a wrap-up session after, like, that was great. What did you like? What did you not like? Do you want to do that again? And just finding out what worked, what didn't, and what we can do next. It makes it more fun and makes me look forward to things more. So, yeah, so that's it, my lovely men. Please, please take these things into consideration. And I don't know what the most important one is, but I kind of want to say reciprocal. It's reciprocal. Please make it reciprocal. Please go down on us too. All right? If you're going to expect it from us, let us expect it from you. Don't let me down here. Anyways, that is it. I hope you took something from this, and I would love for you to sneak on over to part 2. Even though you guys are the receivers, I want you to know what I'm telling to the givers, right? Because then we can all keep each other accountable and be like, hey, wait a minute. I think Tara told you not to do that. Why are you doing that? Let's keep each other accountable in the bedroom, all right? So I better see you in part 2. In the meantime, go grab a banana and get kind of fucking weird, all right? I love you, and I'll see you soon. Hey, wait. Before you go anywhere, I have a surprise. Tomorrow, I'm going to drop part 2 because I didn't realize that tomorrow, March 14th, is BJ and Steak Day, which I didn't actually know was a real thing, and it kind of aggravates the fuck out of me and is sort of a big point in part 2, which is that it should never be a chore. And so the fact that there's a day for it, every day should be BJ Day. So yeah, stick around because tomorrow you get it. I'm not making you wait. And be sure you're subscribed to me because when you're subscribed, you won't miss out when I drop these little surprise episodes. All right. Plus, I will say it 1,000 times. You guys just like stroke that praise kink in me when you subscribe, when you give me a rating or a review. So just get over there and subscribe and please give me a 5-star review. Please, because I want them, I need them, and I want them, but I also just need them and want them. I want them and I need them. Just give them to me, okay? Pretty please? What if I ask you sexy? I'm just kidding. I don't know how to be sexy. So just go over there and give them to me, okay? I will love you so much for them. In the meantime, have an amazing Monday. Go get really fucking weird with a banana, and I will see you guys tomorrow. It's all about the sound. Am I going to puncture your fucking eardrums? I can't because that's where I like to snuggle in, cozy up, and just get all comfy and then infiltrate you with me. Do not put your hand on the top of our heads and push because you're going to push us right out of the room. Like we're just going to go. We don't like that. Ew. I am calf fucking nated. Okay. All right. I have this mission in my life that I want to be like top 5 of all time for them. Like I want this is so fucking cocky. I just want to live in their memory like for the rest of their lives. The more I'm saying this, the more of a dick I sound like. I am such a vain asshole because I want to be in the top 5. Really, I would prefer to be top 3, but I'm not going to be super picky. I also just want to be burned in their memory forever. So when someone else is down there doing the work, they're going to be like, I mean, this is good, I guess, but it's not Tara.